I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting of the West Valley School District, June 9th, 2025. I'd like to, Laura, would you read the call to order, please? Yeah.
Citizens may comment on items appearing on the agenda when invited to participate during that agenda item by the board chair. Citizens may comment on items related to school district business not appearing on this agenda during the public comment portion of the meeting. Citizens, after identifying themselves, will proceed to make comments as briefly as the subject permits. Basic rules of decorum are in effect at all times. The chairperson may interrupt or terminate an individual statement when appropriate, including when statements are out of order, too lengthy, breach personal privacy rights, are abusive, obscene, irrelevant, or otherwise improper. The public should realize that this is a trustee business meeting conducted in a public forum.
Thank you. You'll stand for the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On to the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, do we have any, participation there?
It shows Sean, so I don't know if he's presented now or later or.
I'm just on demand.
Okay.
If needed.
Okay, so we'll put that on hold until we get, okay. Then we'll go on to the informational West Valley Parent Teachers Organization report. Nobody here for that again. West Valley Teachers Organization report.
And if you want, I can speak to the PTO really
Oh,
fast. So
sorry.
no, you're fine. It just occurred to me. I was at their last meeting.
Oh,
So
good.
basically what they're doing is working on kind of determining what the plan is for next year. They came up with a lot of different potential fundraising ideas. And then they were gonna work on kind of channeling that into some of the key areas that they feel like they've got the manpower to do. But the last couple of events that they've had were big successes. Everything went well. And it seems like there's a decent little cluster of people that'll be able to kind of keep things going in the PTO.
Good, so that's hopeful for next year.
Yes, yeah.
Good, thanks, Laura.
Mhm.
Okay, the West Valley Teachers Organization report. No, all right, superintendent's report.
Yeah, so just a couple of heads up items on the MDA, which are, again, just the formalities that we have to do to get it so the, because we have students who are under 13 using these online platforms that can collect data at times. We just have to have an agreement that MTSBA helps us with that make sure that it's all in compliance with Montana law. So got a couple of those too. And then wanted to highlight the audit opinion came back as a clean, unmodified audit, which Angela said was the highest rating we could receive, which was really, really good. They worked together last week and this week on a corrective action plan for some of the exceptions that were found in the audit. Again, a lot of it is just things that have been happening over the years and the turnover in the position. Things just kind of kept, happening and not being fixed. And so it's a really good sign that we did receive that, and it's only going to get better and more consistent with somebody in that position. But I did want to let the board know specifically, and I know Steph was on the call too, but with the audit, it was a really, really high praise for Maggie and what she's been able to do and accomplish. So yeah, really excited and proud of all of that.
Sorry, she's not here to.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, right. Well, that's probably why I said it. I don't like to praise her in front of her. I told Angela that too, right? We don't say nice things about that.
They're making a change now where they're actually gonna start
Yeah,
our audit
good.
sooner.
Thanks for the reminder.
So that we're not, cause it seems like we're always way behind on audits, so
Mhm.
it sounded like they were
Yeah, we're
making
gonna
some
start,
changes.
yeah, we actually have started going through that right now. So, it's Angela too had said that it's also good after July 1st to get going as soon as you can, because, you know, that's when the auditors and the people working there are freest. And so, like right now, like there's a big scramble for that. So, so she's excited to get us going here really quick once the fiscal year starts over again and start early. And Maggie's already kind of got the list going of documents she needs and things like that to hand over to them. And also just a reminder too that the main guy is retiring. And so the new guy named John is taking over, and so we'll be going through him, and he recommends doing that early on it too, so.
This is the Denning guy's gonna.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
older fellow
he's moving on,
retiring.
he's retiring, and so, this new person, John, is gonna take that over, but we'll still be working with Angela mostly on things, so she's been kind of assigned to us.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to highlight there. Got a 5th grade position open, came open recently. So if someone took a different position entirely, so I'm not sure, but they didn't mention it as far as where they're moving on to. We also have several para positions who we will try to get when we can. Usually that hiring happens in August, or as we get closer to August. Yeah, teacher contracts are out, so that's a good thing. Signed, returned, everybody's who's coming back is coming back. We've got one that was granted an extension, so we have one contract on an extension. There's a new special ed director at the co-op, so they were really lucky to find someone. It's the person who they originally hired, and then he declined, backed out of the job, and then they approached him again, and he ended up taking it. So that's good news too, because we really need someone in that role. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alicia, but I think we've got 46 students registered for kindergarten.
It was 48
48.
last time I talked to Brooke.
Okay. so
Yeah.
48.
Yeah.
So expect many more to continue to roll in as it gets close to August. We really wish that parents would register early, but it's this every year it's been right at the very end that we've had this flood of registrations, and then we have best laid plans that end up being changed because of one reason or another. But right now our numbers are running right around 80% of percentage of accreditation, which is great. That's right where we want to be. We have 6th grade running a little high. It's above 90. It's about 92%. That's that big one that we've had since the beginning. So, and it's that COVID class too. So it's got a lot of from kindergarten. So it's got a lot of IUPs in there as well. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to highlight. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll go on to the action items. Finance, the approval of the bills, which we have the bill in front of us here. These, I don't know, Richard, Jude address this, that the furniture that we bought for, and the lockers for down,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
for the middle school,
Yeah.
those come out of the building fund?
Yes, those will come out of the building reserve fund, or small equipment, which is what you use to order things like tables and desks and things like that.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Is that part of that, because that big 6th grade class is going down there?
Yeah, I think part of it is, and Nicole is here if we say anything wrong, but I think they ran out of lockers completely.
We're 25 lockers short next year,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they come in banks of 20, so we ordered
Yeah,
banks,
and then
yeah,
we'll have some more.
extra ones.
We won't have any place to put them.
Until we don't, yeah. We just figured we may as well order a few extras, so we weren't doing it again next year, and
Mhm. We just gotta find a place for them.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
tables and stuff are much needed too.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. E, the human resources personnel.
Yeah, so there's a couple names on the classified list of one hire, Shauna Holder. We'd like to recommend her as a half-time FTE. And Carla Johnson is resigning and moving on to a different position. Actually with Glacier Bank.
She-
I didn't hire.
Just wanted to throw that out. And then as far as the exempt personnel, Marcus Tecca is also recommend that too, for the technology director position.
He's coming on in the 1st of July.
Yeah, and he's been in working a little bit with Haley too, and then Mark Wilson also showed him around and welcomed him. And did some things with him, so.
I'll make a motion to approve the, do I need to do that?
Yes. It's a
Okay, perfect. I'll make a motion to approve the West Valley Personnel Activity Report.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. The West Valley Business Manager Clerk job description, this has to do with changes because of.
Yeah, 'cause the STARS Act
Right.
came in right at the last minute and added just a little bit of different language.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's
yeah,
already
we
been done once, but
approved it last month.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
it's done once, but then they changed it a little, so we have to do it again.
yeah.
So this is just an approval of that.
And I think the only change was just citing specifically the House bill itself.
Mhm.
That's really the only change, but then since there has been an adjustment, we have to reapprove it.
I'll make a motion to approve the business manager district clerk job description.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. The approval of the administrative and exempt contracts. I think we could make this all one motion for all 4 people. Nicole and Alicia,
Yeah, I think so.
Maggie and.
I looked through them with Richard, and Maggie, last week, and everything looked good to me, and it all aligned with kind of the new pay scales that we have for, these positions, and so I didn't have any issue.
I'll make a motion to approve our administrative and exempt contracts.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Now, and this is, the next one is the trustee resolution request for the county to conduct the elections. They just want, I guess, to know that they will have elections next year. I kind of a preemptive thing.
Yeah, we were granted an extension on this too by the county because we were supposed to, I guess, have this done in May, which was the end of the last election. So we can't find out why they need to know so far in advance, but
Just basically, they had to know.
yeah,
Just
they had
before
to know
the other
before
election.
the end of the last election was over that we were gonna opt in to have them run our next school election.
So we have to do this every
That's
time.
what it seems like.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
I'll make a
Sure,
motion to
there's a
approve
reason.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for county to conduct elections.
I'll second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Now we'll go on to the workers' compensation. Now we've had that information, for a month here to look over. And, so I guess we need to decide which one of these compensation carriers we want to choose. Is that correct?
Yep.
I know we had used MSGIA previously, correct? And then we moved over to the state.
Correct, and so the recommendation, and I'm not sure if we're gonna hear from someone now, but MSGIA is the recommendation that we would, not that I would recommend for workers' comp.
Sean, did you want to make a presentation on that or?
Say necessarily presentation, we would definitely welcome the West Valley School District back. You'd be joining 98% of the other school districts in the state of Montana in our program. It's the largest self-insured on the comp side for school districts, K through 12. You get a ton of risk management resources that can help your staff and your team. Mr. Jackson has been taking on some additional roles with asbestos that one of our certified asbestos inspectors will completely take over. She does the entire state of Montana for all the federal and state requirements, and school district staff love her for that because she's a deep rat from tech and she is just an industrial hygienist at heart and is really, really good at it. And the feds down in Denver love her, and so do the state DEQ folks. And so she's also really good resource for lead types of things. But pricing is super competitive. Like I said, it's really front loaded on resources for your staff and your team to help you continue to do really well. And you're going to be in great company. So welcome the recommendation. We look forward to having you back if that's your decision today.
Oh, and when Maggie we were discussing this, she said that some of the materials that were available for instructional materials were just great, that we could use for our teacher trainings. There's some really fine ones that she'd seen on.
A lot of stuff in there for the board too as well. And it will cross, we're only talking about workers' compensation, but you get a lot of extra materials that will support you on the other exposures. So for your other property and type of liability type stuff, just as a bonus, just because our catalog is so large and it's specifically school specific. So you get a lot of extra things in there. So that'll help.
Thank you.
Is there, or can you tell me the reasons you guys are recommending this over the state fund? Because it looks like it's a little more expensive.
It's a couple $1,000s more expensive, but the add-ons that you talked about are what we feel like would be worth the extra investment, specifically with some of the PIR training that we can provide and we haven't in the recent past just because it hasn't been included. So I feel like that, and the asbestos thing alone, I mean, is enough to really carry, at least in my opinion, carry over the return on that investment.
And is that around like actual mitigation or paperwork compliance or what?
It's in paperwork compliance. So
Okay.
the feds in the state require every K through 12 school district once every 3 years to do a full, essentially building inventory of all potential spaces, identify any asbestos, provide a report on it. And it's not just doing the work, you've got to have a certain level of certifications to do it, which apparently is time consuming and expensive to do. And so there's only 8 people in the state of Montana that have it that are not working for an asbestos contractor. And one of Dave is a person that works for me and does it for all the school districts in the state. Actually has worked with your building as it's kind of evolved over the time through its history. And so most districts, if they're not using our program, they'll contract through somebody. There's somebody in Columbia Falls that does the work, but it could be a couple $1,000s per building for that kind of work. And so save school districts a lot, and just the maintenance people don't have to worry about that because they got a lot of other important stuff to focus on to try and have to figure out if they checked all the correct boxes and if there's going to be a problem at the federal level or the state level for that reporting. And so it's ease of mind, I guess.
I'll make a motion to move forward with MSGIA for the workers' compensation carrier for the next school year.
I'll second.
Okay, is there any there any further discussion? Now, this is, we're thinking of just one year because the legislature's supposedly coming up with some kind of a program that'll be for all schools, correct?
Correct.
We
Yeah,
do
it's not,
part of-
it's not through the legislature.
Well, it's through the
Yeah,
legislature, but
Yeah, that's probably, we can't tell right now, but that's most likely where most schools are gonna go
yeah,
next year.
so we go from year to year then on this until we find out what if something else is gonna change the picture altogether. Is there any discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Yeah, unanimous. Now, this last issue was, an idea to change the school board meetings from the second Monday of each month to the second Wednesday of each month. And Richard, you want
Yeah, I think
to address that a little?
yeah, it kind of started as a discussion that Maggie and I had just about the prep for, posting the board meetings and have to be 48 hours in advance. And then, so when we do that, typically that falls on that Friday and then, information goes out and it's the weekend. And so people are distracted, running around living life. And with Wednesday, at least then the 48 hours is kind of on that Monday. So you'd have Monday to, get the agenda finalized, get it set, and then, have everybody educated by Wednesday on things. So, we kind of felt like it would be worth a try to see how it goes. And if we like it, we can keep it. If not, we can always go back, but I think it would be a better day. On Wednesday, there's no, typically, not stuff that's scheduled for sports. And we feel like with a 4 o'clock start time, should be over with, time for people to make like religious commitments, things like that on Wednesdays. So we, think it'd be kind of a good idea just to try it out.
I talked to Cal to see why it was Monday,
Oh, yeah, what did
and he couldn't remember. He said, it's just always been that way. So he didn't see a reason why it had ever been
Yeah,
started that way. So.
yeah, schools, do them different days, like Wednesdays, pretty common, Tuesdays, but yeah. I don't know why it would be Monday specifically either.
And we know why they made it the second Monday, is so it
Yeah.
wouldn't fall
Holiday.
holidays. But the day of week, it's kind of for grabs. So I don't know how everybody feels about switching. If it's a problem for anybody to be able to get here at 4 o'clock on Wednesday as opposed to Monday.
That work for everybody else?
Yeah, I think
Sounds
for
good.
me, Wednesdays are better.
Yeah,
Mondays
Wednesday,
are always
yeah.
kind of hectic
They're always
anyways.
They are. It cuts off traveling too, to a certain extent, like if you're trying to bridge the weekend.
Make a motion to approve changing the board meetings from the second Monday to the second Wednesday of each month at 4 o'clock.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn and then, we're gonna do a tour of the facility.
Yeah.
So,
We'll walk around.
Richard,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed?
was looking at you earlier and then I was like, oh wait, we got one more thing.
Okay, so, let's go.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then you can stop the owl.